Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, February 24th. So lots of stuff going on. This is going to be one of those rambly videos. So if you don't like that, just click off now. So the first thing is, I would assume by now, everybody knows that the Emergency Act in Canada was dropped yesterday by Trudeau. And I think a lot of people are scratching their heads of, like, why did that happen so fast the way it did? No, I'm sorry I did that. I was wrong. Just poof. Okay, we're done. That was weird. I don't know what anybody else is thinking about that, but that definitely felt weird. And there's something behind the scenes that we don't know about. Maybe we will eventually. Yesterday, I did the little short video asking everybody about the Havana syndrome. And basically what I figured out, it was what I thought it was. It was like something that the government was using to disperse the crowds and various other things along the way. So anyway, I appreciate those of you who popped in on that. A lot of the stuff that I found on the internet, I didn't like the answers to, and especially when they use that word mysterious, because there's nothing mysterious about that to me, but maybe the normal people would think that's mysterious. And the one thing that I noticed, and I thought this was very strange, and so maybe you guys can help me understand this part. When I looked at the symptoms of the Havana syndrome, a lot of them were what I would call Ascension symptoms. So that left me scratching my head of how can something that the government is doing, causing all of those things, be the same thing that those of us who think Ascension symptoms are coming from source energy on the good side and end up being the same thing. So I'm having a little issue wrapping my head around that. That makes me wonder is, has that been going on for a long, long time? And maybe there's some disinformation coming out that these symptoms that everybody is having is supposed to be a good thing. And it's ascension symptoms as our bodies and everything raised to a higher, whatever. So that's one of my questions is, how can bad symptoms be coming in, these ascension symptoms be coming in, supposedly from two different places, and be the same thing? Are they good? Are they bad? What the hell? So that is one of the things I wanted to bring up and get your opinion on. The other thing that I wanted to throw in there was, apparently there is a Savannah syndrome. I did not know that. Two people brought that to my attention in the comments. And if I'm just going to say, go look on Amazon and do a search for a book called The Savannah Syndrome and look up the description of it. And I am not a reader at this point in time. I can't sit still long enough, and my brain's always going 90 miles an hour. So for me to read anything is damn near impossible. But the description of that book looks like something very interesting and something that we are going through right now. And it almost looks like it's a child's book, but it says very clearly this is intended for an adult audience. So there's some stuff in there that maybe isn't so nice, but just do that. Go read the description to that. And if anybody has read that book, or if there's a movie out for that, let me know, because I haven't researched that. I just happened to look at it this morning because somebody posted in the comments from yesterday about the Savannah syndrome. So there are no coincidences. And I felt myself a couple times wanting to say Savannah, not Havana. So that was interesting. Over the weekend, I have been watching Phil, but I haven't talked about him much lately because he hasn't said a whole lot that I was interested in. However, I will say he made a comment over the weekend about possibly Canada ending up being part of the United States under the leadership. Trudeau would be leaving and the United States would be taking over the leadership for Canada. Janine has been saying this for a while. that is two separate people who are talking about Canada and the United States coming together as one unit. And as you've already seen, I mean, there's like the collaboration of the Canadian flag and the American flag. They've had one of those for a while since the whole trucker convoy started in Canada. So I definitely can see that coming as people start mentioning that. And I brought that up at lunch the other day with two of my girlfriends that I went to lunch with on my day off. And one of them said she is seeing Canada, the United States, and Mexico all being one. And she said like 13 providences or whatever you want to call it. I've not ever heard that. I don't know if anybody else is talking about that or if this is just her intuition. So I'm curious if anybody has any information on that. Let's see. I did not write notes down, but there were other things that I was going to talk about. Oh, one of the things that I want to throw out here is I have noticed that some of the regular channels that I watch have unsubscribed me. And I would assume that would be YouTube that is unsubscribing me, because I don't think maybe one guy I intentionally unsubscribed because he gets on my nerves, but then I noticed I wasn't seeing him, so I could have forgot that maybe I got mad at him one day and unsubscribed him. But whatever the case is, I know for sure that Ernie Racing I did not unsubscribe to, because he was the one that brought the video with that Trisha Lindsay. And I noticed over the weekend that I had been unsubscribed to him. I also noticed yesterday's video that I did, I lost a bunch of people from that. So YouTube may be up to their shenanigans again. So if you have specific people that you watch all the time, you might want to go in and make sure you're still subscribed to them, because I feel like they have intentionally been removing people so they can't see certain videos that are coming out. I mean, I know this is a common fact. I've heard people talk about it before. I'm saying now, I'm watching it with my own eyes and feeling like I'm seeing that in my life. So that's I'm just throwing that out there to remind you, make sure that you are subscribed to different channels that you want to make sure you get notifications for, because you may get unsubscribed and not even know it. And then you're not getting some of the important news or information that's coming out because it's not showing up in your feed or your face. The other thing, I am not on Truth Social at the moment. A friend of mine said she got on. She was able to download an Android app. Now, yesterday when I tried to do it, I couldn't, there wasn't any Android app even remotely close to Truth Social that I could download. So I'm curious how many people managed to get on it. Are you enjoying it? Is it, worth all the hubbub everybody was saying it was? And one last thing before I go. I have a new friend who is telling me about her experience as a walk-in. I don't think she's going to mind me talking about this, because she's already told me that she's a very open book about it. So I assume eventually I'll be able to talk more about it. But remember when I was I did a video a few months ago about Simone, of Eldora and Simone, and him being a walk-in, and another video about a lot of people were going to come in and be walk-ins right about now with New Earth, because a lot of people were wanting to check out. They weren't able to handle the stress. And I've also heard a lot about, well, I won't say walk-ins, but I've heard a lot of the information that she is telling me from Allison Coe's channels and a lot of the quantum healing sessions that she's done and sort of the reports from that. So the majority of the information that I am getting from my new friend is not all brand new to me, but I have never had a live person where I could literally ask the questions to. So at the moment, I am still processing that information, trying to figure out what to do with it, how to bring it out to you guys if I do get permission to talk about it, and do it justice at the same time. Now, I may have other walk-ins and they fully know it that watch my channel. I don't know if you are, feel free to, I would definitely be interested in talking to you about that in more detail. So one of the things that, you know, she had told me that she was from Andromeda, and I have had 2 meditations where I have popped in on some Andromedans, and one of them, which makes me think I had done a meditation and I had gone up to some sort of a spaceship, and they called themselves the A Team. So now I'm starting to think if maybe the A Team is Andromedans. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out, that I might have some interesting stuff to talk about with that here before long, because like I said, I'm like, my mind is a little bit blown at the moment with the information she is giving me, and I do not believe in coincidences. I definitely believe that she has come into my life for a reason, to bring this out to you guys, I would imagine. So anyway, I will report more on that later when I have my head wrapped around all of that stuff, and I have full permission from her to bring in all the details. So I think that's it. I probably had other stuff I wanted to talk about. I did not take notes today, and I apologize for the rambling, but I think I got everything out. Anyway, post your comments. I want to hear from you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.